from a global perspective, we can see that some governments are embracing electronic invoicing for their own use. They're also advocating it quite strongly for their nation's use as well at varying degrees. So it's quite interesting to see which countries are promoting this and pushing it and endorsing electronic invoicing over and above other countries. How is this adoption influencing your growth strategy in terms of determining or mapping out your global footprint?
Well, I mean, I think you know we're part of a number of programs in the US, in the UK, and in the rest of Europe to try and establish standards that will enable governments to launch or mandate e-invoicing programs. So we're certainly trying our best. In fact, I've got meetings next week with government authorities. I've had meetings this week talking about messages related to supplier enrollment here in the US. And you know, there is lots of activity going on. It's clearly a big push and it's very exciting. And we'd love to see government involvement right the way through to mandatory happening tomorrow. It would be fantastic. I mean, we work with a number of the federal agencies here in the US, and recently one of our large clients over here, the Department of Veteran Affairs, has just sought to mandate e-invoicing. I wrote a short blog on it today. If that takes off, and if the mandate message makes its way through and it's down, you know, I think you'll see it as a watershed moment for the US government, and I think you'll see other geographies watching very closely at the effect that's going to have. You know, we've already launched into Mexico, that's had a mandatory service now, government instigated for years. We've also been working with a Brazilian partner to bring our service to Brazil, and you'll see that go live in the beginning of 2013. And there are others in the pipeline. So we certainly are focusing our energy and our effort in markets where e-invoicing isn't just being actively encouraged, but being made obligatory. I mean, since this time last year, we've already added, I think we've added 9 more countries to our compliance footprint. We're at 42 today, and we'll continue to see that grow. And again, we will be following government initiatives because we think that's a good precursor. So I think we're beginning to see the first seeds of an opportunity opening up in China, which is very exciting. Same for Russia. I think India is some distance further away, but our footprint already spans across Asia Pac now, Latin America, obviously the northern Europe, southern Europe, Eastern Europe, and America. So exciting to see. Let's hope it happens.
And if we just reflect back to M&A activity, is it your opinion that you've got a strong enough presence within these emerging, if you will, let's call them emerging, these emerging markets, or these markets which have emerged as attractive countries to be doing electronic invoicing business within because of the position of their governments? Do you feel like OB10 actually has the infrastructure already, or is that something that you're looking to kind of consider quite seriously as far as your M&A roadmap's concerned?
I think there are some easy markets which seem very similar and have similar attributes to, let's say, some of the European markets, and there are other more complex environments like Mexico with a number of different documents and recipients of an invoice within a fixed SLA time schedule. Brazil's very similar with its own districts. I think in those situations we have already partnered in Mexico to bring our service to live. We would look to partner in Brazil. How far, or we are looking to partner in Brazil. I think how far that relationship goes will really depend on the appetite of our shareholders. I think if we were to put, and you talked about acquisition, if we were to put our acquisition funds to good use, I think there are other things we might put our money on in the short term. I think geographical relationships with strategic exclusive partners can work extremely well. You can get to understand how those organizations work, and then maybe take the relationship a bit further over time. And I'm a fan of walking before I run in those situations.